Before we begin, make sure you're alone. Turn the lights down. And listen, not for what's outside your window, but for what's already inside. You're listening to Bloody Chapter. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories that haunt the mind long after the sound fades. Tonight's story, the 911 call from my own house. Because sometimes, the call for help isn't coming from the house, it's coming for you. Halloween night. Rain tapping the windows. Empty desks. And a hum, that steady, fluorescent drone that fills every dispatch center after midnight. My name's Erin. I've worked as a 911 dispatcher for 7 years. Nights mostly. I like the quiet. Or, I did. That night, the rain hadn't stopped since sunset. The storm reports were endless. Flooded roads, downed power lines, one car accident out on the bypass. Just Halloween things. At 11:42 p.m., the phones went silent for the first time in hours. It felt heavy, like the building itself was waiting. I was sipping stale coffee when the red line blinked. Private line. No caller ID. No number. I frowned, hit record, and answered. 911. What's your emergency? Static. Then, a woman's voice. Shaky. Whispering. Please, you have to help me. I need your location. I don't know, it's dark, but I can hear him. Her breath hitched. That kind of panic that makes your stomach tighten even if you've heard it 100 times. Okay, slow down. Who's with you? A pause. Then, quieter. He's inside. I glanced at the board. The line wasn't traced yet. Can you describe where you are? Do you see any street signs? Windows. More static. A creak. Then, a sound I'll never forget. A door hinge. Slow. Long. Like someone opening it very carefully. Are you still there? Yes. Whisper. Barely. He's walking upstairs. Her voice broke. His, humming. I turned to the map screen. No address, no trace. The line read internal transfer, which made no sense. That's what happens when someone inside the system calls from another station. Except, I was alone. The phone crackled again. And then, I heard it. Humming. A tune I knew. You Are My Sunshine. My mom used to sing it to me when I was a kid. But this one was off. Slower. Lower. Wrong. The woman whispered. He's at the top of the stairs. Stay quiet. Don't hang up. I think he's looking for me. Her voice trembled. I can see the light from his phone. And then, click. Call ended. I stared at the console. The time read 11:47. The caller ID line blinked, updating. Finally, the address populated. It said, caller, 911 dispatch, Willow County. Address, 142, Brookfield Lane. That was my house. I stared at the screen. No mistake. 142, Brookfield Lane. My address. The phone rang again, the same red light, the same private line. I hesitated, hand hovering above the receiver. When I finally answered, I didn't speak first. Just listened. Static, rain, and then the creak of a floorboard. I whispered. No answer. Erin. It said my name. Not shouted, whispered. Familiar. Too familiar. I swallowed hard. Who is this? The voice shifted. Softer now. You shouldn't have answered. The line went dead again. My pulse was hammering. I switched to the system logs. The call wasn't there. No record. No trace. Like it never happened. Okay, I muttered. System glitch. Has to be. But then the office lights flickered. Once. Twice. The radio crackled. Faint background chatter, then silence. And in that silence, I heard it again. The same humming. You are my sunshine. Only this time, it wasn't through the phone. It was behind me. I spun around. The dispatch center was empty. Rows of dead monitors, red and green LEDs blinking in rhythm. Hello. Nothing. The humming stopped. Then, my personal line rang, the one nobody has. The one connected directly to my home voicemail. It was an old landline I kept out of habit. The number wasn't even public. But there it was, blinking on the screen. Home, 142, Brookfield Lane. I picked it up. Static. Then, my own voice. Erin, you need to go home. The sound of my own voice, calm, but off. Like a recording played just a little too slow. I slammed the receiver down. Tried to breathe. My reflection in the dark monitor looked pale, eyes too wide. Rain kept hammering the window. It felt like the whole night was pressing in. I couldn't sit there anymore. If this was some kind of prank, some sick Halloween joke, I needed to see it for myself. I grabbed my keys, my badge, and stepped into the hallway. Every motion sensor light flicked on a second too late, casting long shadows that followed me. The rain outside was relentless. The parking lot shimmered like a mirror. When I reached my car, I saw movement, a figure standing by the edge of the lot. Still. Watching. I blinked. Gone. My hands shook on the steering wheel. Just go, I whispered. It's nothing. It's just stress. But the feeling wouldn't leave, that cold weight in the chest, the one that tells you you're already too late. The drive home was only 8 minutes. Every street light flickered as I passed beneath it. The wipers clicked in perfect rhythm with my heartbeat. When I turned onto Brookfield Lane, I saw it. My house, dark except for one upstairs light. The window where my bedroom was. The curtain moved. I parked, engine running, headlights cutting through the rain. Tried to convince myself I was imagining it. Then my phone buzzed. A text from unknown number. Don't go inside. I froze. Looked up at the house. The front door was open. Just a few inches. Enough for the wind to move it. I should have called backup. Should have done 1,000 smarter things. But all I could think was, someone's in my house. I left the car running and stepped into the rain. Every sound was too loud. The gravel underfoot, the thunder above, the creak of that open door. Hello. The house didn't answer. Only the hum of the fridge. The ticking of the clock. I stepped inside. And the door closed behind me. The air inside my house felt wrong. Not just cold, occupied. Every creak of the floor made my breath hitch. Rain whispered against the windows, soft, steady, like a second heartbeat. Is anyone here? My voice came out quieter than I meant. Too careful. Like part of me already knew the answer. The lights flickered. That same lullaby hummed from somewhere upstairs. You are my sunshine. But the voice wasn't mine. And it wasn't my mother's either. It was lower. Broken. Like someone trying to remember the tune through cracked lips. I gripped my flashlight, stepped onto the stairs. Each one groaned beneath me. Halfway up, I saw it. Muddy footprints leading upward. Bare. Too large to be mine. Dispatch to Unit 12, I whispered into my radio. Static. Then, my own voice replied. Copy that, Erin. I'm already here. My hand froze. The radio crackled again. Soft static, like breathing. Second floor. Bedroom. I climbed the last few steps. The hall stretched long and dark. Only one door glowed faintly, the bedroom. I pushed it open. The lamp flickered, throwing light across the mirror above the dresser. And in that reflection, I saw myself. Except, I wasn't holding the flashlight. The reflection was. I froze. Lifted my hand, slowly. The reflection didn't move. Who are you? I whispered. It smiled. Not mine, wider. Wrong. Then it tilted its head, and in my own voice said, You shouldn't have left her alone. The light burst, glass shattering across the floor. I stumbled back. The mirror cracked from corner to corner, splintering my reflection into a dozen staring eyes. And behind those cracks, a shape moved. Something in the mirror. Not on the surface. Inside. It reached forward, a pale hand pressing from the glass outward. The sound, like wet paper tearing. I dropped the flashlight. The beam spun across the room, catching something on the bed. An old rotary phone. The receiver was off the hook. A faint voice whispered from it, distorted, echoing, but familiar. 911. What's your emergency? My voice. The mirror pulsed, light bleeding through the cracks like veins. My reflection leaned closer, face twisting. You called me, it said. I answered. The mirror rippled, glass folding like water. And before I could move, it reached through. Cold fingers brushed my throat. Then, darkness. When I woke up, it was morning. The storm had passed. Everything was quiet. I was back at my desk. The dispatch room looked the same, empty, still, sunlight cutting through the blinds. I checked the call log. No new calls since midnight. But my headset was on. And the red light, the private line, was blinking. I answered. 911. What's your emergency? Static. Then, a woman's voice. Panicked. Please, you have to help me. I knew that voice. Because it was mine. The screen flickered. Call source. 142, Brookfield Lane. Status. Active. Outside, thunder rolled again. Soft. Distant. Rain began to fall. And somewhere, faintly, the lullaby started all over. You are my sunshine.